Call Allah Imla, Allahai now Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, Hamashiach, Wamalaki, Bahashim, Harwat, Bakakwarash, Barakathum, the water Baba Ball, Wakwam Yasharala. Double honor to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who teach us daily. And to the men out there teaching the likewise doctrine and say Shalom. Today we're going to get into a video where this Edomite recognizes the fact that the United States is built off blood. So it's going to be destroyed. That same blood got to be repaid. Now, a lot of Edomites, they have this thing in their mind where they think they're not going to be punished. They think they don't have to pay for any of the things they have done. They don't have to pay for the things that their forefathers have done. No, the Lord don't work like that. Take a sip of tea. The Lord don't work like that. He punishes nations. And I always say this, all of Israel was not wicked. If that was the case, you wouldn't have over 144,000, and you wouldn't have an innumerable 1/3 that the Lord is going to save. But despite that, all of Israel still went into captivity. The same applies to the other nations, especially Edom. So I got this video where this Edomite is going to explain it and how he realizes that, hey, we in trouble. And he's speaking for the nation of Edom. So let's get this video real quick. But before we do that, let's get the copyright. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit education or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Name of this video is Babylon was built off blood and will pay in blood.
America is like a house with a crumbling foundation, where the foundation was never built correctly. Whatever house was built on it was always going to have problems because America was...
Oh, I think this is on my, it's on my list of scriptures. Let's get it now. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 12, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establisheth a city by iniquity. That's Esau.
Was built on the foundation of slavery and genocide and the myth of white supremacy. The entire house was built on a foundation centered around racism and sexism. Every law and law enforcement agency, every city plan, every policy was built on that foundation. The education system, the welfare system, the transportation system, the communication systems, they're all built on that same terrible foundation. And a lot of us grew up believing that we lived in the greatest, strongest, most beautiful house ever built. But then at some point we start to see some cracks in the walls. The walls start leaning in on us a little bit. And we're like, hey, something doesn't seem quite right here. We might need to replace some of these walls. So we try to fix it. We fix the leak in the roof by making redlining illegal. We patch up a hole in the wall by allowing women to vote now. But if you have an inspector over, they're going to be like, whoa, I see that you fixed the wall, but you got to do something about that foundation. If you don't replace the foundation, eventually this house is going to fall. But replacing the foundation on a home is near impossible. So instead we hide it. We'll build a fake wall in front of it. Make it so you just can't see it anymore. We're going to make those sections of our history textbook smaller and a little less informative. We're going to go ahead and ban the criticism of the myth of white supremacy from our schools. While we're at it, let's ban books that criticize the house. From now on, we're going to say that home inspectors are unpatriotic traitors. If you're going to be critical of this house, then clearly you're not a patriot like me and you need to get out. You're not even a part of this family anymore. But it doesn't matter how much you try to hide a crumbling foundation. In the back of your mind, you know it's still there. Ultimately, a large percentage of Americans believe that white men are mentally and morally superior to everyone else. That belief is the cornerstone of America that will always stop this country from being great. No document or law or political party or agency is ever going to make America a great country, as long as we still hold in our hearts beliefs that support the myth of the supremacy of white men. We need to tear down and rebuild our entire belief systems.
It's not the answer, E. But see, what you Edomites are suffering from is nothing captivity can't fix. I promise you. Because the world is tired of the bullshit brought forth by Esau, Edom. It's beyond apparent that this is a nation of pedophile protectors. Matter of fact, Ted Cruz came out and said that people need to stop attacking PDFs. So you're in the wicked kingdom. But the good news is this wicked kingdom is about to be destroyed. Let's get the book of Job, chapter 14, verse 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Esau was given a certain amount of time to rule, and we almost at the end of that time. So, I mean, and that's a good thing because everybody tired of it. Now let's go here. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 16. For they sleep not unless they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. But the path of the just is as a shining light that shineth more and more unto the perfect day. The way of the wicked is as darkness, they know not at what they stumble. See, Esau don't know how dangerous he is because this is all he knows. All he knows is great robbery, murder, death, violence, destruction. To him, these actions are like breathing. Why? Because they were created to be the wicked. They don't see anything wrong with their actions because all of this wickedness comes natural to them. It's just like righteousness comes natural to us. Once we find out somebody lied to us, we pissed off. See, it's the same way with Edom, though. It's in his nature to do these wicked things because this is why he was created. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 59. And we can start at verse 3. Now, these scriptures were written originally for two-thirds Israelites, but you can easily apply this to Edom because this is where they got their behavior from. Verse 3. For your hands are defiled with blood, and your fingers with iniquity. Your lips have spoken lies, and your tongue have muttered perverseness. None calleth for justice, nor any pleader for truth. They trust in vanity and speak lies. They conceive mischief and bring forth iniquities. That's the Epstein files in itself. None calling for justice. The people who were, their job is to bring forth justice, they're protecting PDFs. Look at Pam Bondi going above and beyond the Call of Duty, protecting her daddy. And this man right here talking all this big boy shit on TV to other world leaders, and he rocking presidential pull-ups. Boy, stop. Ain't nothing tough about you, Trump, except that Khazarian mafia that's backing you, and they some punks too, because they work within darkness. Verse 6, their web shall not become garments, neither shall they cover themselves with their works. Their works are works of iniquity, and the act of violence is in their hands. Their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed innocent blood. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity, and wasting and destruction are in their paths. Look at all the 200 plus black towns, so-called black towns that were either burned or drowned. See? That's these people. They get in their feels at the very thought of somebody, especially us, doing better than them. and it drives them to murder. Let their history speak. Verse 8, the way of peace they know not, and there is no judgment in their goings. They have made them crooked paths. Whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace. That's why everybody who ends up dealing, who will end up dealing with the United States, end up regretting it. Because these people can't do right. The United States has never looked this bad on the world stage. And it's only going to get, the image is only going to get worse. Get this one. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 15. And this is, well, let's get this in the blue letter. Jeremiah chapter 15, okay. And the name of this section is Judgment Must Come. We can start at verse 20. And it says, and I will make thee unto this people a fence brazen wall, and they shall fight against thee, but they shall not prevail against thee. For I am with thee to save thee and to deliver thee, saith the Lord. And I will deliver thee out of the hand of the wicked, and I will redeem thee out of the hand of the terrible. That right there is for the 144,000 that's going to get that upgrade. It's going to get those spiritual powers and put 1,000 Edomites to flight. But see, Edom, they looking for a reason to mess with us anyway, because we have always been the true targets. All this eugenics, experimentation on how to make us weak, how to get rid of us and all this, that shows you how weak Esau is. Because if you're really superior, the threat of competition would be nothing to you. Let me relight this incense so I can, a lighter. Okay. Now let's go here. Okay, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse, let's get full chapter. This is Revelation chapter 18. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was enlightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, has become a habitation of devils, and the hole of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached into heaven, and Yahweh have remembered her iniquities. That's the point right there. The Lord said, you know what? It's time to put y'all down. When the Lord is tired of y'all, that's the time to start getting afraid. Verse 6, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works, in the cup which she have filled, fill to her double. That means the United States finna get back twice the amount of pain, suffering that they dished out. On top of being totally destroyed and never rebuilt again. Get this one. Second Ezra chapter 15. Verse 5, Behold, saith the Lord, Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and her hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things, Slaki, in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. Yeah, the Lord finna do something now. Because we send up curses and prayers every day, all day. Destroy Babylon. Verse 9, and therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. I told y'all, y'all ain't got away with nothing. Because for every drop of Israelite blood y'all shed, y'all got to spill 2 drops. It's about what, 3-4 oceans worth? Yeah. Let's keep rolling. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 35. Verse 2, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and the time of their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from him that passeth about, and him that returneth. Verse 11, Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will even do accordingly to thine anger, according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them, and I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. Talk about Edom. Verse 12, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh, and that I have heard all the blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying, They are laid desolate, they are given to us to consume. This is what they think. They think they can just murder us. They think they got a right to do us any kind of way they want to do. Just like the tiny tops over there. So they got a right to rape. Yeah, the great. Yeah, that's them. They proud like that. But see, they got these teachings from the Talmud. They don't study the Bible. They carry the Bible around like a movie prop. But the book that they worship is called the Talmud, and there's a lot of messed up stuff in there. They talking about our king, Yahweh Shai, in there, talking about how he was boiled in excrement, how the mother of Yahweh Shai was a whore, when in all actuality, Amalek's mother was a concubine. See, verse 13, thus with your mouth ye have boasted against me, and I have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, when the whole world rejoiceth, I will make thee desolate, as thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate. So will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it, and they shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh. Idumea is Greek for Edom. Ain't no way out for y'all. Get this one. Book of James, chapter 5. This is James chapter 5. We start at verse 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your money ain't gonna save you out of this. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Corrupted riches. This dollar is dead now. Y'all got to remember that. This dollar worth about what, 7 cents now, if that? Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as if it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. Behold, the hirer of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, cheating people out of their money, child support, stealing people taxes, freezing accounts, stealing people's property. They call it seizing. No, this theft. Yeah. And the cries of them which ye have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and have been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he does not resist you. That's why you in trouble, that innocent blood. Yeah, you have condemned and killed the just. You in trouble, E. Get this one. Genesis chapter 9, verse 6. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of Yahweh made he man. This is the book of 2 Kings. This chapter 9, verse 7. Thou shalt smite the house of Ahab, thy master, that I may lay that I may avenge the blood of my servants, the prophets, and the blood of the servants of the Lord at the hand of Jezebel. That ain't what I was looking for, but it'll work. Let's see. I think it was in Revelation. Okay, it's in Revelation. And this is why we tell you, Israelites, y'all better let this place go before you die with it. Y'all defending all this wickedness of Babylon, and then coming against the Israelites who trying to get you out of this alive in one piece. You coming against that. You want Babylon to go on. You're going to die here. Revelation chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she hath rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works, and the cup which she hath filled to her double. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. This is the attitude of the American average Edomite. And that her in these scriptures represents America. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall utterly be burned with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh who judgeth her. This after the missiles fall, verse 10. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, and no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. Yeah, Babylon finished. You already see that now, because Babylon is not this is the biggest consumer nation on the planet. America doesn't produce anything but consumers. That's it. The Lord started breaking this place down years ago. Okay, let's get. I think it's in Isaiah. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, we can start at verse 9. This is talking about how the Lord is going to punish the elites. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee. Even all the chief ones of the earth, it have raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. This is how the other nations feeling right now. They feeling themselves looking down at the United States. Verse 10. And they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become as weak as we? art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Worms represent death. Verse 12, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Lucifer, this is not talking about no devil. It's talking about Esau falling from his rulership as fast as lightning. This is how quick he gonna go from sugar to shit. Yeah, he's falling from his heaven. Because see, right now, while Esau is in his kingdom, in his rulership, he's in his heaven. We're in our hell. The Lord is finna switch that thing. So when Esau goes into captivity, he's entering his hell. And when the Lord comes to deliver the 144,000 and the innumerable 1/3, they're going to their heaven, which is going to be on earth. Because after Esau destroys his kingdom in World War III, they're going into captivity to rebuild the kingdom of heaven on earth for free over 1,000 years. And then they're going to be rounded up and exterminated. Verse 21, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their father. See, y'all ain't got away with nothing. You children that had KKK granddaddies and all that shit, y'all finna pay up, homie. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land or fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord. The Lord is finna castrate y'all. As you can see, the Edomite numbers are dwindling, basically because they're not reproducing. Because see, first of all, Esau got his own women on some feminist stuff. Ours to all the women. But he's being affected most by feminism now because his numbers are suffering severely. So yeah, all they got to do is reproduce. Have sex with your wife, man. It's just that simple. They blaming this on us as well. Why they can't reproduce. It's our fault. No, it's not, Esau. It's your fault because you done brainwashed these women to go after careers and not family first. Number two, you can't stop messing with these kids long enough to reproduce with a woman. You can't stop messing with other men long enough to reproduce with a woman. You can't leave these animals alone long enough to reproduce with a woman. And this carries over all the way back from Greece. Because in Greece, they use women for reproduction, but they use men for pleasure. This has always been in Esau's spirit. That's why his numbers are suffering. We don't have that problem in the Israelite community. Because the Lord told us to be fruitful and multiply. Not go get careers first, and then after you done ran up all the miles on your box, now you want to settle down after you done committed all this adultery with all these spirits on you. That's backwards. But that's Esau. He's backwards. And now he's suffering from his delusion. He's suffering from his pseudoscience. Matter of fact, let's get this right here. Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. Verse 21, woe to them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. See, Esau thought he was on the left. He thought he was outsmarting everybody on the planet. No, the Lord had you in a trick bag the whole time. He was setting you up for your own demise, and you didn't even know it. Everybody else's numbers looking good. Esau's numbers are in the shit, but it's everybody else's fault. Nothing is his fault. But see, if this worked, he would have taken all the credit. But now that it's failed, he going around blaming other people as to why he can't reproduce with his woman. Because see, when you try to sabotage us through sterilization and messing with our food, the numbers of Israelites did not suffer. Yours did. And that's right here. Let me find it real quick. There you go. Proverbs chapter 1. Verse 31. Therefore shall they eat the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. See all these little traps and snares you set for us? They're starting to affect you. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. All right, we can get one more. Get this one. This one perfect. That ain't it. All right, this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 8, verse 50. For many great misery shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. The pride gonna destroy you. It already has. It's just a matter of time before they put you in the grave. So yeah, we go ahead and close with that. But Edom, it's time. And then you got other Edomites. They see it. Edomites see the end of their kingdom, but for some reason you Israelites can't see it. This man even did you a courtesy of giving you a doomsday clock, of letting you know the Babylon time is almost up. But for some reason, you MAGA people and you 2/3 Israelites, y'all got so much confidence in this place that you're going to die with it. Call halal yimla lahaya now Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, Wa Malaki by Hashem, Harwat, Wakakorash, Barakathum, the water by Babal, Wakwam Yasharala. Shalom.